This video is a part of the What Would You Make for May, and I have 3 butterfly and bees wood DIYs for you today. Well, hello my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if you are new, welcome to you as well. This is Christine, your DIY craftaholic, so let's get crafting. For our first DIY, this is I think they call it a plaque. I got this from Woodpecker's Craft, but we'll be turning this into a riser. And why not? And those are 3 little mini mushrooms that I also got from Woodpecker's Craft. Now my white paint, I decided that I wanted some texture, so I added some baking soda, about half of a teaspoon, and I shook that up real good. I ended up not painting the riser because I thought that the wood was beautiful as it is already, and I didn't want to spoil that. Now I took the little mushroom that I'm using some wood glue as well as some hot glue, and I'm gluing those on. I just evenly spaced them out on the bottom of the tray, and I then took a little diluted wood glue. That wood glue came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just adding that for further security. I set it aside to dry for about 30 minutes while I worked on the other DIYs. So after it dried, here I'm going to be using some Waverly Antique Wax and this home decor distressing brush that I got from PLAID. So I dip the brush in the antique wax and just remove the excess on a piece of napkin, and I'm just lightly going across the riser in the same direction. As the grain on the wood, not too heavy, just light enough to give it some character and just change it up a little bit. Please ignore that Mod Podge sticker that you see in the top left. I was sent that by PLAID. It's not there for any rhyme or reason. And I did that until I was satisfied. I then flipped it over and did the same thing. You can stop here and you would have a beautiful riser, but I chose to go a little further. So now it's time to embellish. Now I'm cutting down this transfer stickers that I got from Amazon in a pack of 6 with very large sheets of different flowers, and I selected the ones that I wanted, and here I'm just trying to place them down. And after I placed them down and knew where I wanted them to be, I took this piece of stick. It's not actually a stick, it came in another pack of transfers that I purchased from Dixie Belle, and I'm just rubbing the transfers on, and I rubbed until they started separating from the carrier sheet. For this kind of transfer, you need a little bit more elbow grease to rub. It's not as easy as the ones from the Dollar Tree, so you'll have to rub until it separates. Now to seal this, I am using Waverly Clear Wax. This is optional, you can use Mod Podge. I just chose to use the wax because it was right at hand and I wanted something different. And then I just went right across, sealing that with the wax, and I did the same thing for underneath. And my friends, this is complete. You will see more of this in the final reveal. So my friends, here we are for another What Would You Make challenge, which is hosted by Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and myself, Christine from DIY Craftaholic, and our guest host is Sandra from the Schwone's Nest. Sandra, if I messed that up, please let me know. Links to our channels will be in the description box below, as well as the playlist, and I will also link that under my video, so make sure to check out the host channels as well as the playlist. We have lots of wood DIY inspiration for you, so I'm sure you will enjoy that. So now we're jumping into our second DIY. This is another wood product that I got from Woodpecker's Craft. It's a large teacup, and I'll be using some of the same paint you saw me mixing in the beginning, which I thought I would have been, okay with. Turned out not to do so well because it didn't give me the texture that I wanted. I ended up going over it with another coat of Apple Barrel white acrylic paint, and then here I'm taking my Folk Art linen tool and I'm going to distress this. So I took a dry chippy brush and just dip the brush in a little water and then tap the paint on just to dilute it a little so it's easier to spread. And I'm just going over with broad strokes right across the teacup, not too heavy, just enough to show that it was distressed. And I also went around the edges of the wood, and I did that for both sides. Next, I took a panel from this beautiful napkin that I got from my friend Mary from Craft Away with May. I'm going to use a piece of tape to hold the napkin on the board so I can use the water technique to just separate it. So I took a fine paintbrush and just dipped that in a little water and use that to tear the napkin. This is Plaid's new Mod Podge formula, Mod Podge Multi, that has all of Mod Podge formula in this one solution. I did a review of this product. I will link that video at the top here. You can check that out. And no, this video is not sponsored by Plaid. I am an ambassador, but this video is not sponsored. I'm just telling you about the new products since I'm using it in this video. But I'm using the gloss formula right here, and if you notice, it's very liquidy. So I poured a little on the board and used the Mod Podge brush to spread that, and then I placed the napkin over it, and I'm using my heat gun to just dry that a little. Now I'm using the heat gun because my heat press was not plugged up. Now with this formula, you have to either roll the bottle in your palm or you roll it on a flat surface to mix it before you actually start using it. Now I totally forgot about that. So once I got that on, I set it aside. You have to wait for it to dry for about 30 minutes before applying the second coat. So once that dried, I then went in with my second coat, and then I'm using a piece of the parchment paper and the heat gun again to just reactivate the Mod Podge and to seal it. Guys, I am so close to 3,000 subscribers. Ooh, I'm excited. So if you are watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing before you leave. And don't forget the bell so you are notified whenever I upload new content. So now it's time to embellish. I took pieces of these mesh ribbon and lace crochet ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'll be making just a messy bow, but not really a bow per se. I tried crisscrossing them in a messy bow format, but that didn't look too good, so I changed my mind. So I cut 2 pieces of the mesh ribbon, then cut those again in 2, and I also cut a piece of crochet ribbon or the lace ribbon, whatever you want to call it, and I cut that in 2 as well. I put them all together, just alternating as I go, placing them in a slanted direction, and then glue them at the tip of the handle of the teacup and use my little spatula to just force them down. I got these little wooden butterflies from Temu, and I chose the one that has the same colors and glued that on top of the ribbon. And then I flip that over, and because I want my little teacup to stand on its own as a shelf sitter, I glued on a piece of block. This piece of block came from the top of a house shape. You know, when you have your house and it's slanted to a point, those little pieces, I don't throw out anything, my friends, not anything gets thrown away unless I inspect it carefully. And then to further embellish, I took a little antique wax on a piece of sponge and just lightly distressed the edge of the teacup just to give it a little bit more definition, and this one is done. You will see more of this in the final reveal. Now we're on to DIY number 3. I got this little shadow box thingamajig from Michael's for 99¢, and I just peeled off the sticker from the back. Now I'm using the same mixed tape, not mixed tape, the same mixed paint that I did earlier. I used that as my base coat and gave that 2 good coats, allowed it to dry properly, and then here I'm going in again with the same folk art linen tool, just lightly distressing, just like I did for the teacup, with a dry chippy brush. My friends, if this is your first time, thank you so much for clicking on that thumbnail and coming in to watch my video. For those who are already subscribed, my friends, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. You guys have been awesome. I thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares, and I really do appreciate your support. All right, Christine, don't talk out the video. All right, so after I got that done, I'm taking another napkin. This one has a bee on it, and this also came from my friend Mary. Mary girl, you have all the pretty napkins over there. And I want to place this on the inside of my little shadow box. So I cut a piece off. I didn't cut it all the way to fit snugly inside. I wanted the inside rims to also have some napkins. And here I'm using my Mod Podge multi again, place a little, and I'm using Mod Podge brush to spread that. And the thing with this Mod Podge, you don't have to let it dry or anything. Once you spread it thinly, you can place your napkin down on the surface. It doesn't bubble or anything. And here I took the little detail scissors and I just kind of slit the corners of the napkin and folded them, and then just cut off the excess. And then once I was done with that, I took the sanding block, sanded off the excess. I allowed it to dry, and then here I'm going in with my second coat and my heat gun and dry that carefully. Now there is not much that I will be doing to this, because it's basically, you know, crowded with the graphic on the napkin there. I didn't want to do too much to it. So I'm just making sure that the napkin sits properly inside and giving it a lot of heat as much as I can. I'm now further applying some Mod Podge to seal everything in. You can use your regular Mod Podge at this point. I chose to use what I already had been using. And then I took a piece of the same crochet lace, made a little bow, and snip another piece and just wrap that around the center and glue that at the top left. And my little shadow box sign is complete. Love it, love it, love it. Here we are for the final reveal. Let me know which one of these 3 DIYs was your favorite today. You have my favorite, they're all my favorites, but I love the riser. Let me know what you think about the riser, the teacup, the Shabby Chic teacup, and the little bee shadow box. Now these were my butterfly and bee DIYs. Don't forget to check out Brenda's channel and Sandra's channel and the playlist down below that is filled with lots of wood inspiration. And if you love budget-friendly content like this one and you have not yet subscribed, I would suggest that you do so before you leave. I would truly appreciate that. And to watch even more, I recommend this video right here or this playlist. And I apologize for my stuffiness. I'm not sure where that came from. I guess it's a change in the temperature. But guys, that's it. Catch you in my next one. Bye.